Hello everyone, welcome to our second part of this lesson. In this part, we are going to go over some relations between two angles. Before we talk about the basic types of the angle, so in this part, we are going to look at what if we have more than one angle? And is there any special relation we are going to look at? So let's start the lesson. So very first part, as you can see from the picture, we have two lines intersect together at the one point here. And how many angles we have here? As you can see, we actually have 1, 2, let's use a different color, 3 and 4. So the reason we use a different color because we do have a special name for these two pairs of the angle. So the angles stay on the opposite side of this position. We do have a name for that. So for the ones you already learned that, probably you already figure out. Just because they're like, it's like a big V, another big V here. This is angle we call vertical angles. And there's another very important fact of vertical angle because they stay on the opposite position here, and it's like obvious. For example, if I say this is 120 degree, we know this is definitely also 120 degree. So that's why for vertical angle has a very important fact. As long as it's a vertical angle, we call they are always congruent. For the one is if it's your first time to see the word congruent, meaning they're exactly same. They're exactly same. So some students might say, why can't we use same, or why can't we use equal to describe this situation? In geometry, when we talk about two identical shapes, this kind of relation, we use the word congruent to demonstrate they are exactly same. So that's first type of the angle. Not really type of the angle, is a relation of the two angles. If they form by two intersecting lines, the angles stay on the opposite position, called vertical angles. So maybe you can, you can stop here, stop the video, and to look around of your room. Maybe you can see where can you see vertical angles. Next, I want you to look at the two graphs. The first graph is we have two angles here, and this angle is 60 degree, this angle is 30 degree. Second is very similar. However, the only difference is these two angles stay together. So if you really observe closely, and you can stop the video here and try to think about this question, what are special part of these two pairs you notice? Some students probably already figured out. So this one, if you look closely, if I add this together, they equals what? Yes, you are right, 90 degree. Same thing here, 60 degree plus 30 degree equals to 90 degree. So when two angles, they add up together as 90 degree, we call complementary angles. So the definition is very obvious. They add up to 90 degrees. So when two angles add up to 90 degrees, we have a word called complementary. Complementary, meaning they add up to 90 degrees. So let's check next. So some students might say, oh, they add up to 90 degrees, then it's complementary. Then what about we add up to 180? So some students already notice in these pictures here, we have 1, 2, 3. First, if I add them together, what do we got? Yes. Second and third, some student might say, hey, I don't see any angles measurement here. How do I know how many? But if you look closely, two angles made up the straight line. And how many degrees for the straight line? Straight angle, 180. So when two angles form together, they stay together and also form a straight line, they also add up to 180. Same here. The only difference is I use number to name them. So for this case, we have a name for that, which is called supplementary. So these two actually very similar. A lot of students can be confused with this one. So supplementary, 180, they add up to 180. And complementary, they add up to 90 degrees. So please tell the major difference here. And also, one more thing I want to share with you is if two angles are next to each other, like these two, they're next to each other and form a straight line. So these two cases, two angles next to each other and form a straight line, they're supplementary angles. However, there are also special cases when they are next to each other, form a straight line, we call them linear pair. That's just another special name for this situation. However, can we call these two linear pair? No, we can't, because they do not stay next to each other. But they are complementary angles. Oh, sorry, supplementary angles. The reason is for supplementary angles, all we need to do is they add up to 180 degrees. They are not necessarily staying together. But for a linear pair, they are supplementary, but also stay next to each other. Okay, so that's it. So in this second part, we do go over 3 special relations here, and also we have another one, a special case for supplementary angle. It can be confusing, but please review this video whenever you feel like you need more time to study, and make sure you can tell the difference between these words. Okay, see you soon. Bye, guys.